No game has got my attention and pulled me in as much as the first 30 minutes of Generation Zero. Unfortunately, every subsequent moment after that 30 minutes pulled me further and further away to the point where I never wanted to touch the game again. And to go from that level of love to that much of disdain, you think the game would have done something to offend me or something, but instead what it did was worse in some ways. It did nothing. It did absolutely nothing different in those first 30 minutes. And that persisted, and the flaws started to show and the cracks started to show, and ultimately I'm here to tell you that Generation Zero is, it's not that it's not a good game, it's just not a fully realized game or a game worthy of your attention for the amount of time it asks. In Generation Zero, you arrive on this Swedish island. It seems to be like the 80s, 90s, and everything about the opening moments and the atmosphere, the visuals, the music, especially the soundtrack, it is absolutely mesmerizing in a lot of ways, and it pulls you right in. The problem is then it becomes an open world game with very little to do. And it's set on an absolutely gigantic map, which really got me interested and excited until you realize that map is way too big for what the game actually has in terms of content and in terms of what it offers. And ultimately, after a very few short hours, you kind of feel like you've seen it all and done it all, and chances are you probably have. But anyway, a little bit of backstory about the game. You arrive on this island, all the humans have disappeared, now there's robot overlords, and you've got to find your way to where the other survivors are. And you do these quests through finding notes and recordings. You don't really meet anyone along the way. You sort of find hints and clues and move forward until you can see where are all the people. And the thing about it is because, like I said, there's robots that have taken out everything. They can be pretty damn tough. You can maybe take on the basic like dog animal style ones one-on-one handily after a while, but in the beginning they are threatening and scary because they run at you. They can run and shoot at the same time. So scouting and recon and stealth in some scenarios is the best approach. Thing is this game allows for up to 4 players, and it seems like that's the way the game has been designed, with the hope that you playing with other people will fill in all the gaps of moving from area to area and the repetitive nature. And in all honesty, it can only do that for so long before you really have seen everything and done everything, and then there's much more to it. As you explore the houses, you really start to realize that the layout of the houses are virtually the same, with just a small amount of variables. Like once you've been in one house, one barn house, one farmhouse, one town area or a bungalow, like you've kind of seen them all. That kind of doesn't really help when the landscape is so big and similar. It's such a bummer because this engine is absolutely beautiful, and like just exploring the world, and no matter what time of the day it is, at night, at morning, at dusk, at dawn, when it's foggy, when it's rainy, the atmosphere draws you in so much, like so much that you just wish there was something more to this game, but ultimately there's not. And you really just realize that if you play any more than the first few hours, you're ultimately just wasting your time. And that's such a bummer because I keep thinking at those first 30 minutes and how I'll actually never feel that way about this game again. And in that sense, the only thing I can do is move on from it and just wish it was better, but ultimately let it go. And honestly, you probably should too. It's not worth your time right now. I don't know what they could do to really add on to it, unless they completely add whole new game mechanics and everything else, but they're not going to do that, unfortunately, and it's not worth anyone's time.